Glad to have you join me on Housing Development, a program that answers your questions on real estate, housing construction, mortgage finance, and a whole lot more. Here will bring you up to speed on the major happenings in the housing sector, both on the local and international scene. I am Flora Ani, your housing diva. After the news, we shall be discussing housing issues as usual, as it affects the most active section of the Nigerian populace. Stay tuned for the latest news headline in housing.
The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, NAD, has commenced its housing project in Anambra State. The NAD National President, Dr. Oyilawa Okaihesui, made the revelation at the foundation and stone ceremony for the estate in Oka, Anambra State. Okaihesui described the ceremony as the commencement of the journey towards the realization of the dream that every doctor should own his or her own personal house. He said the project would help reduce the brain drain in the medical sector, especially in this COVID-19 pandemic era when the nation's health sector was overstretched. The president called on state governments to provide land for the association so that they could execute housing schemes for medical doctors in various states, stressing that they need land at an affordable rate with certificates of occupancy for effective takeoff. Experts in the built environment have expressed worries that the National Building Code is yet to be domesticated in many states. Professor Olaniyi Okedele, an architect, lamented that apart from Lagos and few others, many states are yet to domesticate the code. Speaking at the Lagos chapter of the Nigerian Institute of Architects Continuous Professional Development Program, held virtually on Understanding the National Building Code lecture series, they called for the review of obsolete laws in the building and construction industry, as well as adoption of the code across the country. The Association of Professional Women Builders of Nigeria will hold its investiture of the second president of APWBN and executive members in 2021 seminar on the 25th of February 2021. According to the organizing committee chairperson, Builder Mrs. Florence Akinyoade, she said the association was created with the aim of showing that women are also capable of succeeding in a male-dominated field. Speaking with Africa Housing News, the secretary of the investiture committee, Builder Mrs. Victoria Ghana, speaking as well, said the investiture will be used to educate, celebrate new EXCO members, and to award outgoing EXCO members as well as deserving members in the built industry. She further urged Nigerians to be a part of the program as a disclosure of the association's goals for the next 2 years would be rolled out, as well as training for ICT-interested individuals in compliance with the investiture's theme. And meanwhile, Ebonyi State Government has confirmed participation in the federal government National Social Housing Program, which is being managed by Family Homes Funds. The state government has pledged to donate land towards the construction of low-cost houses for its workers through Family Homes Funds. The National Social Housing Program, which is the Nigeria's government's response to the health and economic challenges caused by the coronavirus pandemic, is designed to provide 300,000 homes and 1.8 million jobs across the 36 states, inclusive the Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria. A novel scheme to tackle the proliferation of slums in the Lagos metropolis will come on later in the year, raising hope for the urban poor who dwell in environments that fall short of human dignity. The regeneration scheme is being championed by the state's Urban Renewal Agency and would transform Shomolu Bariga and Ifelodun Ijora Badia from years of infrastructural decay. The proposed scheme is part of the Mainland Central Model City Plan that spans 4 local government areas and accommodates 6.5 million residents. Already, Lasura has invited interested consultants in the built environment, especially members of Town Planners Registration Council of Nigeria and Association of Town Planning Consultants of Nigeria, to bid for the job.
name is Andrew Chimponda, the Group Chief Executive and Managing Director of Shelter Afrique. I strongly endorse the housing program and housing show, and I think you should keep watching it. Thank you.
Timberlock wood preservative surpasses all preventive measures designed to permanently prevent the damage and quality reduction of wood and wood-based materials by termites, fungi, bacteria, and other boring insects. Use Timberlock premium wood preservative to prevent, correct, and defend wood and wood materials against deformities caused by termites and other insects in the later days. Timberlock is designed to solve wood preservation challenges with a standard you can trust. Timberlock wood preservative kills termites instantly. Timberlock wood preservative, the wood preservative brand leader in Africa.
Your water and housing development. To read the full details of the news, visit www.africanhousingnews.com, and also don't forget to go to our YouTube channel, Housing TV Africa, and click on the subscribe button. Every year, people keep looking for houses to either buy or rent. However, with the search of housing units, finding the right home remains a challenge, even as the gap between the estate owners and the clients continue to widen up. Real estate and property agents have been the answer to this challenge, bridging the gap and helping people move into the house of their dream at a cost. But the question is, do people get value for their money spent? This special report seeks to find out how cost efficient it has been engaging these agents. Take a look.
With a yearly increase in rural-urban migration in the country, property owners have sought for more ways to relate with prospective clients with physical methods such as advert placements and technological methods such as creating online platforms, which is now on the rise. However, real estate agents have remained the easiest link between potential clients who are sourcing for new apartments and the property owners. These agents usually carry the burden of searching for the most suitable apartments according to the defined tastes of the client.
Having an agent in Abuja in terms of housing is one of the easiest way you can get housing in Abuja, because personally it happens to me that most times even my first apartment, I walked around within Abuja to find an apartment to stay, but I couldn't get it. But the moment a friend of mine told me that there's an agent too, you can easily get an apartment there, so he sent me the number and I called him immediately. In less than 24 hours I got a good apartment that I'm actually living now.
It's good now. You don't need to speak directly with the landlord each time. With the estate agent, I prefer it, as in you talk with them straight away and it's fair. Even
though real estate agents have been helpful, some Nigerians still find their expense on agents wasteful, with many arguing that the dishonesty among these agents makes it challenging to work with them.
To me, actually, I don't think it has been helpful, because the first time I came to Abuja, I had to meet a particular real estate agent to help me get somewhere. But you know, there's this kind of fraudulent mindset whereby they want to make extra from your hand when you get to meet such a person to help you get a place where you can reside. And if that's why when some of us, we get into Abuja the first time, we like to know the landlord personally.
Agents remain a bridge between property owners and potential occupants, with organizations like Association of Estate Agents of Nigeria trying consistently to regulate the activities of agents. It is safe to say that Nigerians are not pleased but would still require the services of agents.
For me, I think is helpful because there are some people that are they are busy. They don't have the time to go out and look for a house for themselves. I think the job that you guys are doing, they are doing. But the other thing I do not like is that when you said you are an agent and you are helping people to look for a house, and you now turn it the other way around, as in stealing people's money. By the time they give you money, you disappear with their money. You don't do what you told them that you are doing. That one is a very bad something. I don't welcome that. But then they are trying.
Fully persuaded about the need for a more sustainable, modern, creatively crafted and functional design, Urban Shelter Limited has developed yet another masterpiece that so easily breaks the borders of creativity and dispels mediocrity. Well seated on over 210,000 square meters of land and marked for housing development, the Promenade Estate is located in an excellent part of the Federal Capital Territory, Lokogoma, a central point in Abuja, proximal to most places of relative significance and attraction and edged by multiple access roads where homeowners can swiftly meet up with schedules and appointments. Pushing the frontiers of communal living, the Promenade Estate has within its borders 2-bedroom and 4-bedroom semi-detached for the purpose of facilitating communal living, while homeowners have well-defined mutually exclusive spaces. The Promenade Estate appeals to the minds of intellectuals, professionals, and homeowners who have a thirst for a house that sits comfortably on global standard. Urban Shelter setting the pace.
A lot of Nigerians have fallen victims of rental scam. People who've had various encounters with this house agent when seeking to rent properties barely ever have their monies recovered. On Voices on the Street today, we spoke with a few persons who shared their experiences on house agent and how they feel generally. Take a look.
The rightful owner of a building will not want to scare people away from its structure. But the agents are always happy when they scare away people because they want to maximize profit. Because they will not want you to meet the real owner of that property because they would want to come in between the two of you and then run it what they call business. Very terrible business. Business to siphon people's wealth. The little people earn, you collect from them.
They don't make things easy for people because sometimes for you to even get out the money for the house rent is not that easy. But before you know that, they will tell you have to pay maybe 10% or that kind of stuff. And people don't find it easy. When I first came to Abuja, I had that same experience when I was looking for a house. I was able to get out the money, but before you know it now, they were kind of telling me that I have to add so amount of money to it. It wasn't easy. But I just have to do it.
You know, there are areas they will make it easier for you, and at times too very difficult. Understand me? Difficult, you know, in the sense that most times they on their own increase house. I mean, like the what do you call it? The agent fee that you will pay. If the landlord is willing to take 1 naira, they will ask the landlord to make it 2 naira, so they will get more. But it is easier for them to look for a house for you if you are very busy. Then you now contract them to look for a house for you. They might be able to find a very good place for you. But where they have the problem is the money that they will build into it. You understand me?
They are self-centered. They are after themselves. They don't care whether you have a very good house. They don't care whether after taking the house, the repairs, the minor or the good things you to carry out from there. They don't fight over it for you from the landlord. Once they take the money from you, they tell you it's in between you and landlord. They don't care. And as a result of this, a lot of house rent supposed to be dropping in Abuja. But the way the house agents, the way they paint it, it's make house rent to continue increasing. If government can help us look into this matter, take property tax from landlords, they will be forced to bring their price of housing in Abuja, then the middlemen will disappear immediately. But if government is not taking property tax from them, you will see a single man having like 10 estates, only him, because he's not paying anything to government, thereby you will feel like I can have 100 more. But if you have only one property and you are paying tax every year, you will know that you have to give it out to people that will pay, so you can be able to pay government. As a result of that, government will generate revenue.
Visit Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts on Facebook, Housing Development Program, on Twitter, Housing Program, on Instagram @Housing Program. Join the conversation and keep up with latest housing updates.
Welcome back. In order to avoid cases of rental scam, only registered property agents should be consulted when in search for a property to rent or buy. But for the benefit of those who still want to have it their way, here are ways you can identify a rental scam when looking to rent or buy a property.
Victims of rental scams suffer financially and psychologically. Apart from the clog it throws in a victim's financial plans, it is largely humiliating to lose money in such a way. For most victims, it means they have to start planning all over again. 95% of Nigerians rely on services of agents to rent houses or developers to buy properties. As Nigeria contends with over 17 to 20 million housing deficit, the pertinent question is whether registered agents are sufficient to serve the increasing population. Here are ways to identify fraudster agents and avoid rental scam. One of the signs to look out for when renting a property is that before a scam, a fraudulent agent makes it impossible for you to inspect the property. They come up with several excuses, but the end goal is the same. They don't want you to inspect the apartment or property. Anyone who keeps you away from an apartment you intend to rent has rental scam written all over his or her intention. Don't fall for this trick regardless of the excuse they come up with. Be wary of any situation or scenario where you are put under pressure to make a financial commitment way too early. An example is trying to make you pay before an inspection. This is a red flag that gives a rental scam away. Professional agents know that they need to give you time to make an informed decision on whether you want the property or not. Scam agents, also known as 419 agents in Nigeria, are known to stage the rental process in such a way that it puts a lot of urgency on the financial transaction involved. Another red flag to look out for is if what you are being asked to pay as rent is way cheaper than the value of what you should have been asked to pay. Then, this is another sign of a scam. One way to find out the value of an apartment or property is through research. You can check trusted real estate websites to compare prices. Another way to achieve this is through a real estate expert. If the figure still falls below what you should be paying for the apartment, then it is most likely a trap set to lure you in. If you are ever shown an uncompleted building by an agent or developer who gives you reasons why you need to pay quickly to secure the apartment, this is a major red flag. Many unsuspecting individuals have lost their money to this scam. The trick is to show the same apartment to as many as 10 to 40 unsuspecting victims. They make payments without ever clashing because the rogue agent schedules their inspection for different days. One way to avoid this is to work with a property lawyer or a real estate expert whose years of experience can be relied on to avoid falling into such traps. The application form also gives many shady agents and scammers away. A typical application form should be thorough and the homeowner should not put you under any kind of pressure to complete the form. Remember that this form is the landlord's way of ascertaining that you are the kind of tenant he or she wants. If your potential landlord or landlady does not care about your employment history or a reference from your previous landlord, then he or she is probably just in a hurry to swindle you. No matter how captivating the pictures of an apartment shown to you by a real estate agent is, it cannot replace an actual inspection. There are millions of images online that a scammer can easily download and present to you. An agent looking to scam you will either be deliberately clumsy with the written lease or will not make it available to you. When renting an apartment, the only form of agreement you should take seriously is a written one, because a written agreement can always be used as a reference in cases of disagreement and clearly spells out details of what the lease covers. In the course of hunting for an apartment, you will be told a lot of things, especially if you carry out due diligence and ask a lot of necessary questions. However, regardless of what you are told, it is important that you carve out time to carry out proper research. Google should be your friend at this point. Check the name of the agent as well as the landlord you have been introduced to.
I'm Debbie Erb. I work for OPIC in the United States, and keep watching the Affordable Housing Development Program.
Welcome back. The program is Housing Development. If you just tuned in, we've been discussing about how to avoid being defrauded when looking to buy or rent a house. Moving on, the stage is set for Africa's largest housing and construction expo, the 15th Abuja International Housing Show. The event is the ultimate meeting point for industry leaders, housing finance executives, senior policymakers and investors to collaborate, build partnership and shape the housing and construction future. You have an opportunity of being an exhibitor on the floor of the venue. Now here are reasons why you should exhibit.
Abuja International Housing Show brings an amazing opportunity to exhibit, network, develop new business relationships, and make sales. Here are things you must know about Abuja International Housing Show. The Abuja International Housing Show is Africa's biggest building and construction show, with more than 15,000 participants and over 400 exhibitors from 21 countries. Its large international participation provides excellent opportunities for global sharing of knowledge, expertise, products, and best practices. Abuja International Housing Show brings together industry leaders, investors, buyers, and entrepreneurs to develop markets and business partnerships. The event gives you access to leading-edge technical information, equipment exhibition, and valuable new professional contacts from around the world. Abuja International Housing Show, the largest housing expo in Africa.
From visibility to credibility, exhibiting at a trade show has hundreds of benefits for your business. That is why Abuja International Housing Show, the largest housing and construction event in Africa, has created the best platform and a very profitable choice to establish a presence, whether big or small, for your company. Abuja International Housing Show gives you a powerful platform for meeting new customers, reaching out to your existing clientele, and building a more established and reliable brand. The 2021 Abuja International Housing Show will hold from the 26th through to the 29th of July at International Conference Center, Abuja, Nigeria. For more details, visit ihsabuja.com or call 081 665 70090. That is it today on Housing Development. Do well to join me next week for another exciting episode. I remain Flora Ani, your housing diva. Do stay safe out there.